show you how to take relatively inexpensive cuts of meat like these bone-in chicken thighs. I have 2 packets, and these were manager discount specials today because it was either use it and freeze it by today's date or they had to toss them out. So for 2 packages, I only paid a little over $5 for all of this meat. What we're gonna do is take the bones out of these thighs, and we're gonna get 2 completely separate meals out of them. So let me show you how this process works and hopefully show you how to save money at the grocery store too. So let's go. When you are starting out, make sure you have a really sharp knife and clean hands, of course. Now these have a lot of skin on them, and we're gonna remove some of that skin as well. See all that loose skin? We're gonna take some of that off. And I will be using an air fryer and my Instant Pot today. So those are the 2 things I'm gonna be using for these meals. Now, if you want to, you can take these chicken skins, put them in the air fryer and crisp them up, which is what we're gonna do. And then those can be treats. All right. Here is the bone right here. And you can see it starts right here under my finger, and then it ends over on this side. So taking your knife on both sides, kind of go in and under. In. And you'll know if you've gone too deep because your knife will try and cut and it won't go through. And you're just kind of cutting out around that bone. And it's okay if you have meat on this bone. That is preferred. So it doesn't have to be completely cleaned off. Okay, there's our bone, and it does have some meat on it, which, like I said, is okay. So we're gonna put this on our tray for the air fryer. Now we are left with a very big thigh. So we're gonna cut this into pieces and put it into a Ziploc baggie. And we're gonna put some teriyaki sauce over this and let it marinate for a few hours. And this will be our protein for probably tonight and tomorrow night because this is a ton of chicken. I put salt and pepper on the bones with the excess meat around it and on these skins as well, and into the air fryer at 400 degrees for at least 8 minutes, and then we'll check it and see if it needs to go a little longer. So if you guessed, we're gonna be using the bones that we have in the air fryer to make broth. My daughter's not feeling well. She's coming down with either a head cold or maybe something even worse. And I want to make sure that I have something nutritious to get into her body. So I'm going to make a homemade broth using the bones that we had and then turn that into a chicken noodle soup for her. So I'm going to show you how I do the quick and dirty version of it, and it tastes just as good as it would if you would let it boil for several hours. We're using the Instant Pot, and to the insert I've added 1 whole onion, a few baby carrots, some black peppercorns, and these are dehydrated celery leaves, and then 1 of our chicken feet from our chickens that we culled last spring. So that is the base, and then all we're gonna do is add water to this and our air fried chicken bones. In total, I roasted these in the air fryer at 400 for 18 minutes, and I still think I'm gonna put these skins back in for just a few more just to really get them nice and crispy. But we're gonna take these using tongs because these are very hot. We're gonna put these into our Instant Pot. And I did add a bay leaf. My Instant Pot has a maximum fill line where it says 2/3 right here. We are going to go just a little bit below that with our water level, and we're gonna pressure cook this on high for 90 minutes and do a natural release. Our broth is done in the pressure cooker here. So what we're gonna do is use a fine mesh strainer and get a good amount of this broth into a saucepan. And this will be the broth that we cook my daughter's dinner in tonight. And there is a nice big bowl of ramen noodles in homemade chicken stock. We have taken the leftover ramen for us, the other 2 packets, and then just added the teriyaki chicken that we baked in the oven to it. And that is dinner for my husband and I. To take full advantage of the broth that we made, I have a partial bag of rice. I'm gonna measure this out, and we'll do 1 part rice to 2 parts of broth, and then we will have rice ready for the rest of the week that we can incorporate within our meals. And I will show you a few ways to use these that are a little unconventional. Give your rice a good rinse. I used just a little over 2 cups of rice, so I'm gonna use 4 cups of the broth that we made to make our rice. I do not add salt whenever I make my broth, so when you make rice, I always add a little bit of salt to that to enhance the flavor a little bit. After making the rice, I am left with still 1.5 quarts of the broth. I can portion this out and freeze it in 1 or 2 cup portions, or I can make soup and freeze the soup and then it's ready to go. I'm gonna use the remaining broth that I have to whip up just a quick soup that I can freeze for later meals if one of us is sick or if we need a quick lunch or dinner because we're on the go. This will portion out to probably several smaller containers of soup. And I'm only using what I have in my fridge. So if you don't have these, it's okay. I'm using the basic. I had a half an onion, I had 2 sticks of celery and just a handful of baby carrots. Chopped all of those up very finely, and then I found some garlic laying on the counter that needed used. So 2 cloves of garlic, and we're gonna saute all of that before we put the rest of our ingredients into the pot. Our rice is just about done cooking, and I have this smaller container here of chicken that we have left over that did not have the teriyaki sauce on it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dump that in to our soup and then give that a good stir around. All right guys, so we did get a whole tub of rice prepped for the week and then a big pot of chicken and rice soup, which we can portion out into smaller containers. To whip up our crispy rice waffles, we need 1.5 cups of our rice that we made earlier. To that, we're going to be adding in 2 eggs. And the bigger the eggs you can get of this, the better these are going to turn out. So you want a relatively large egg. 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. And then we're going to use some sesame oil and just a little pinch of that, so 1/4 teaspoon of the sesame oil. Then just mix this up really well. And if you have leftover fried rice, you can do this with fried rice as well. I'm gonna be using a mini waffle maker, so go ahead, plug this in if you have one and get it preheated. Take cooking spray and you wanna spray both the bottom and the top. And spoon in 2 big spoonfuls of the rice. Close the lid, and then when this light goes off, then your waffle will be finished. The light just went off, and you can see it is nice and golden. And you guys, there you have a rice-based waffle. All right, you guys, this is how we reuse some of our leftovers. We have the leftover teriyaki chicken, the rice cakes that we just made, and then I found these bagged salad kits on sale for like $1.50. So just paired it up with that, and that makes a delicious dinner. That does it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, God bless, and we will see you next time. Bye.